Hi,
Hello,
Fabs.
hello, hello. Thank you. Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
All right, Ger, so we're talking power couples
Yes, ma'am.
today, glamour power couples. Can you tell us about your couple a little bit? When did you meet Vicky? When did you decide that this is the one for me?
So, Vicky and I have been together for 14 years, going on 15 years. So, it's been a long time. We've been married for 5 years, which is a lot of fun, and that's part of one of the things that I love about South Africa, that we can be so free with who we love, and that's quite exciting. So 5 years ago, just when gay marriage got legalized, we were already together for a long time. We decided we're going to get married, and we wanted to first keep it quite private. And then we decided, somewhere in Pof Ader or some small town, there's a little boy that does not know that this can be normal and that a same-sex marriage is beautiful and pure. And then we decided, okay, let's see how big of a noise we can make with this wedding. And we went all the way, top billing style. It was quite dramatic. And what was the funny thing that I remember from doing the wedding so public was that it was the first televised gay wedding, and nobody really knew the rules around how does it work. Especially, we all know how a top billing wedding works. Then you kiss, then you dance, then you do this. And with a gay wedding, it was just rewriting the rules of how it has been done. And it was a big risk for us, but the feedback was just so positive. And for me, as an advocate for change in the world, whether it's through fashion or through lifestyle, I think it was such a great move and such a big honor. But to get back to your question, how we met was we met in Klerksdorp, where we both studied. I was 16 at the time, and Vicky was 21. And I told my mother, that knew I was gay, that I am moving in with a friend, and that is why she should let me. And she then just thought Vicky was my friend, and we've actually been living together since the day we met. So I don't know if that's the best advice I could give, but obviously 14 years later it worked for me.
Can you tell us about the dynamics of your relationship in light of the fact that you are this big personality, you are in the public eye, you are in the fashion industry, entertainment industry, you're televised, you photographed, you celebrated. How does he, I don't want to say handle that, like lack of a better way of phrasing that. How do you guys handle all of that comes with this thing of being married to Gert Johan Coetzee?
I think what helped was that before all of this, we were together. And I think that is one of the pillars. And we already had quite a strong relationship. And we built this together. I mean, Vicky is as much Gert Johan Coetzee as I am. We are one when it comes to the business. But you know what? There is no YouTube video or book on how to deal with fame in a marriage. I mean, that on its own is something that you just kind of figure out. It does have its challenges, but I think Vicky on his own is quite a strong person. And he doesn't get threatened. My word, guys, this is my phone, and this is probably my husband. Look, Vicky's calling me. Sorry. Anyway, so I think
You dropped his call.
he knows I'm here.
Live.
Q&A afterwards. So no, I think it's just really being two whole people before the marriage, and then with all of this, it just really amplifies it. And Vicky is like my cheerleader. He wants this lifestyle, or he wants me to follow my dream as much as I want him to follow his dream. And I think that's important for like today, where this is a couples thing that we meant to do together, but it's very important for Vicky to also live his best life. And that's why I wouldn't force him to drop something that he loves to be able always to catch me in situations. So I think the whole purpose of what I'm trying to say is that you have to be two very strong people and whole people on your own. And then when you come together in such a unknown or unusual circumstances like we are in, you just kind of make it work.
So BBC is launching a TV show called First Dates. Can you remember your first date with Vicky? Where was it? When was it? How was it?
I just remember we were poor. I just remember we had no money. It was really like basic. I think we went to something fabulous like Panarottis and we split a pizza because we were both kind of on a budget. So it was great. And also the thing was, being as young as I was, it wasn't really also like we didn't really, I wanted a lot of people to know that we were dating because of the age difference back then. Like now it's not so big, it's 4 years, but when one is 16 and one is 21, it's a red light, especially to a parent. So we in the beginning we kind of kept it hush hush. We just dated. He came to visit me a lot at the hostel that I was staying in, which was a mess and it was horrible. So when Vicky offered. And there's two versions of this story. So Vicky lived in Scotland since he was 18 until he was 21 when he came back, and then we met as he came back. And he then lived with his mom while he was waiting for the year to finish for him to go and study. And I was waiting to finish my fashion year. And my version of the story is that Vicky's mom suggested that I move in with them because Vicky is anyway at my hostel all the time. So it will just make sense. That was my version. Vicky's mom's version was that I asked, because the hostel was so horrible, that I could move in with them. But either way, we only figured out years later that there was two versions of the story, but I did move in with Vicky and his mom for about a year. And then, of course, we both moved to Joburg.
How big is your closet and in relation to his? Who has the bigger closet?
Fun thing about being a same-sex couple is that you can share clothes. So, so shoes, when we are all exactly the same size with shoes and kind of pants, Vicky's a little bit bigger than me, but we kind of like share everything. But he has like the sporty side of the wardrobe. So like Vicky just wants to be in tracksuit pants and like a tracksuit top. He's like really chilled. And then my side is like the glitzy side, which is everything has got a sequin and a thing and a hat and a... So I must say, when it comes to closet space, probably the same thing. But the obsession that we both have together is with underwear. So we have, like, I'm not even lying, like probably 3 drawers, if you have to chop this in 3, filled with underwear. So that's a lot of fun. And then our shoe cupboard's insane, because that's like the other thing we have in common. And I'm constantly trying to get Vicky out of his tracksuit pants, but he's just Vicky.
What have you learned from him? What's the most significant thing that you have learned from him? And what have you taught him? What's the one thing that he can say, okay, I learned this from Gert?
See, Vicky is a very, very, very kind, soft person, soft-hearted. He's always thinking of other people. And I think his selflessness, I learned a lot of selflessness from him. He's just such a positive person. Vicky is also a very spiritual person, which I wasn't before we met. And the main thing that I think we have in common today is that spirituality. I think for a couple, that is something that really brings you together, whether it is whatever religion you are. So that is the main thing we have in common. And that spiritual side of Vicky is what attracts me most about him, and what really every day he just teaches me more and more and more and more. And I think what I taught him is definitely patience. I mean, really, like dealing with this on a daily basis. And he's like... He's never jealous because he knows nobody else would want me. That's what he says. They'll send you back, I know.
Is there anyone from the audience that would like to ask her something?
There's a question. I love questions.
Hi, Gert.
Hi.
Zolani here. I would like to know, how did you guys, or how do you handle conflict with your partner?
The funny thing is, before we got married, there was a lot of jealousy, there was a lot of uncertainty because we met before all this happened. I think from Vicky's side, it looks like he's losing his partner to this industry. And I think for me, the whole thing was when we got married, kind of a lot of the noise in the background stopped. I think then we both kind of realized that this is forever, and if you want to or not, you're not going anywhere. I mean, there's no just packing your bags and going. So that knowing that you're married and that you're committed really changed a lot of the game for us. Like, I remember, like, the moment we got married, we stopped fighting, and we rarely have a disagreement because we are so the same. Like, literally since I was 16 and Vicky 21, we've been spending day and night together. I think the longest we've been apart was a month. So we are really one person, and fighting is... We don't really fight. That is the real funny thing. But when we fight, it's also always about stepping away, removing yourself from the situation before you say something hurtful or something that you don't mean, and then coming back later and just resolving it. So conflict with us, I think the key there is just giving each other space for a minute so that you can just also sort it out in your head. And as a couple together, we work on growing together. Like, I know Melinda and Adrian mentioned the 5 languages of love, and that book is, I think, one of the pillars that any relationship needs to go through and work through to just really know what your love language is. And that then helps a lot with conflict.
So as a couple that's been together for many years, and I think maybe there are some people in the audience that have also been together for a long time with their partner. Wow. Congrats. How do you keep that spark alive? I mean, when you're dealing with that person is there every day. You wake up with them, you face them, they're there with you every single day. Of course, that life journey with someone is incredible. But how do you keep it exciting and fun?
I think bringing it back to attraction. I mean, what attracted you at first glance to that person? And before you even knew their name, you were obviously attracted to the way they looked. I mean, I'm all about aesthetics, and I think it's important to look good for each other. I mean, don't let yourself go. Be aware of yourself. Like, me and Vicky, we are so comfortable around each other, but we always try and keep a bit of mystery. So that there's always like questions being asked, and you want to know that person completely, but there must always be that fun side. I think what we do that really like excites us is traveling together. I think doing activities together, and that is activities for me and for him, things I like and things he likes, just to keep that spark going. So traveling for me is really something, and taking little trips and doing little things together, going for a cooking class, doing just something fun together is the way of keeping the spark alive. But I really think you always need to take care of yourself. There's no going to bed with old underwear and socks with holes in it. Really keep it special, because it is special.
All right, lastly on my end, I don't know if anyone wants to jump in and ask one more question before we let Gert go. But lastly on my end, what does love mean to you? Glamour's current issue, the February issue, we themed it the love issue. And we unpacked love in all of its diverse meanings. What does it mean to you?
See, there's love for self, there's a love for your husband, and then there is like you love your mother. But I think what all of those have in common is that real blanket of support that you have around you. And for me, that is what I know I have in Vicky, is that is always that warm, fluffy blanket that you can relax into, and you know it's just your safe zone. For me, love is safety. It is something that wraps around you and just really holds you up and supports you. And I think that is why I love Vicky so much, because I know when I get home now, there will be somebody who lights up when he sees me, and I light up when I see him. So that excitement, that comfort, that nice cup of hot chocolate, that is love.
Love that. Thank you so much, Gert.
Thank you.
Anything else?
You're amazing and so pretty.
All right, at this time we'll ask Langa to take the stage. If you're not familiar with his music, you're going to be blown away by the incredible amount of talent that Langa Mavuso is. Thank you, Langa.
Afternoon, everybody. My name is Langa Mavuso. I'm going to serenade you for a little while. I hope you can enjoy this with your beautiful partners or the ones that are to come. But can you just enjoy the music with me? Thank you. Kodwa sami konakele kodwa ngisakuthanda. Cabanga wena ngifuna wena wedwa. Say it and sing it to me. Break it and pull me apart at the seams. 'Cause I know it, you broke it. I felt it, we lost it. I trusted the process, thought we'd never make it. But I don't wanna be a fool again. I don't wanna be the one to scream and shout. Let the rain fall, wash us clean of yesterday. Yehla thando lwami. Let the rain fall, wash us clean of yesterday. Yehla, yehla thando lwami.